She called him Grandpa, trusted him with her life, until the day he became her worst nightmare. This little girl's story will shatter your heart and make your blood boil. But what her family did next, that's the real crime that will shock you. The most disturbing question of all is, was justice ever served? This is the horrifying true story of Sumaya, a child betrayed by the man who was supposed to protect her. And right now, her predator is still out there. Will you help expose the truth? Then watch until the end, because her story can't be ignored. Before we go deeper, smash that like button right now. Every like shows YouTube that this story needs to be seen. And subscribe with notifications on, because Sumaya needs justice. This is her story.
In our world, there are events that, when heard, almost seem unbelievable. Today, I want to share one such incident that will surely leave you astounded. Believe me, after hearing this story, I myself felt deeply disturbed and ashamed as a man. It made me reflect on how bad humanity is becoming. After watching this video, you may truly understand the depths of human depravity. Today's tragic story is based on a real incident involving a grandfather and his granddaughter. The girl's name was Sumaya. She grew up in a happy, loving household with her parents and grandparents. As her parents' only child, Sumaya was cherished and adored. Her parents always ensured that she lacked nothing. Whatever Sumaya desired, her parents made sure to fulfill it. One morning, while Sumaya was getting ready for school, she informed her mother, "Mom, I need to leave a bit earlier today because I have an exam." Her mother replied, "Hold on, Sumaya. There are still a few tasks to complete at home. I'll pack your lunch and walk you to school." But Sumaya, eager to be on time, responded, "No, Mom, you don't have to come with me today. It will take too long, and I really need to hurry. Just prepare my lunch, and I'll head out on my own." As she set off with her lunch in hand, her grandfather called out from behind, "Wait, Sumaya, I'll walk you to school. You're still young, and it's safer if I accompany you." Reluctantly, Sumaya agreed, and they began their walk to school together. The school wasn't far from home, so they decided to walk at a steady pace. Sumaya, full of life and always talkative, chatted with her grandfather as they went along. Suddenly, he stopped at a quiet, secluded spot on the road. Puzzled, Sumaya asked, "Grandpa, why did we stop here? The school is still a bit farther." Her grandfather replied, "I have something important to discuss. Let's sit here for a moment. Then I'll take you to school." Without giving it much thought, Sumaya agreed and sat down with him. But what followed was unimaginable and horrifying. The very person she trusted the most tried to harm her in an unforgivable way. Sumaya struggled, cried, and pleaded, but he threatened her into silence. Confused and terrified, she let out a loud scream, and that made him back off. Still shaken, Sumaya eventually made it to school. However, when she returned home later, her spirit was broken and her heart burdened with fear. Her parents noticed her sadness and asked, "Sumaya, what's wrong? Why do you look so down?" But Sumaya couldn't find the words to explain the trauma she had just endured. The next day, after school, Sumaya was at her study table, attempting to focus on her lessons. Her mother, preparing to go out with her father, said, "Sumaya, we're stepping out for a while. Stay indoors and don't go out. If you need anything, your grandfather is at home." Hearing this, a cold wave of fear swept over Sumaya. The painful memory of what her grandfather had done the previous day lingered in her mind. Although she sat with her book open, her thoughts were tangled in confusion and fear. She felt trapped and unsure of how to handle the situation. As evening fell, Sumaya heard her grandfather approaching, and fear gripped her once again. He walked in and asked, "What are you doing, Sumaya?" Trembling, she replied, "Just studying, Grandpa." Sitting next to her, he spoke in a calm but unsettling tone. "Why are you so quiet? I'm your grandfather. You should talk to me." Sumaya remained silent, too frightened to speak. He continued, "If you tell anyone about what happened, it won't be good for you. Understand?" In her panic, Sumaya nodded. Her grandfather went on, "Your parents aren't here right now, so if you need anything, just let me know. I'm here to take care of you." His eyes were cold and menacing, and he moved even closer, making Sumaya feel completely trapped. Mustering every bit of courage, Sumaya realized she couldn't remain silent any longer. "If I don't do something now, he'll keep doing this," she thought. With some determination, She got up and said, "Grandpa, my stomach hurts. I need to go to the bathroom." Caught off guard, he allowed her to leave, and she quickly seized the opportunity to get away. Sumaya hurriedly locked herself in the bathroom, her heart pounding with fear. Thoughts raced through her mind as she worried. What if Grandpa tries to hurt me again? I can't tell anyone about it. The painful memory of the previous day's incident haunted her, leaving her terrified and confused. How could the grandfather she loved so much turn into someone who would try to harm her? Realizing she couldn't stay alone with him in the house, Sumaya knew she needed to find a safe place. Without wasting time, she decided to go to the neighbor's house. "I'll stay there until Mom and Dad come back," she thought, desperate to avoid being left alone with her grandfather. Meanwhile, her grandfather noticed her absence and started looking for her. When he found her at the neighbor's house, he asked sternly, "What are you doing here, Sumaya? I've been searching for you. You should be studying, not wasting time." Since the neighbor had no idea what had happened, Sumaya quickly came up with an excuse. "I was studying for a while, but I wasn't feeling well, so I came to relax and chat with Auntie. I'll go home once Mom and Dad return." Relieved that her quick thinking had saved her from being alone with him, Sumaya stayed at the neighbor's house until her parents came back. When she finally returned home, she felt grateful for the brief escape. That night, lying in bed, Sumaya found herself recalling a memory from her early childhood. One day, after being scolded by her mother, she had been too scared to say anything and just cried quietly. At that moment, her grandfather had come to comfort her. He hugged her, wiped her tears, and reassured her. "Don't worry, Sumaya. I'm here for you. Your mom was just upset you didn't do anything wrong." To cheer her up, he had taken her to the store and bought her favorite chocolates and snacks. Sitting on his lap with a bag of treats, Sumaya had felt loved and safe. That memory had once been precious to her, but now it felt like a painful reminder of how much things had changed. The man who used to be her protector had become a source of fear and heartbreak. As she lay there crying, Sumaya couldn't understand how the love he once showed her had turned into something so horrifying. Why did Grandpa start looking at me with such wrong intentions? She wondered, her heart aching with sadness. Eventually, exhaustion took over, and she fell asleep, tears still wet on her cheeks.
The next day at school, her teacher made an announcement. "Since exams are approaching, we've planned a picnic for all students, teachers, and staff. It will be a great way to unwind before the exams." Hearing about the picnic lifted Sumaya's spirits, giving her a small sense of relief. It was something to look forward to, something that took her mind off the pain she carried. Sumaya had a close friend named Alicia who noticed her sadness during class. Concerned, Alicia approached her and gently asked, "Is something bothering you, Sumaya? You've been so quiet lately." Sumaya hesitated for a moment, and tears began to fill her eyes. Seeing this, Alicia offered comfort. "If you're going through something difficult, you can share it with me. Maybe I can help." Sumaya's heart ached with the desire to open up, but fear still held her back. Yet, knowing that Alicia cared gave her a small glimmer of hope that she wasn't entirely alone. Hearing Alicia's comforting words, Sumaya hesitated for a moment. Should I really tell her everything? She wondered. After a brief pause, she finally spoke up. "Alicia, I'm going through something really terrible right now." Alicia leaned in closer, her face filled with concern. "Please tell me everything, Sumaya. Maybe I can help you." Taking a deep breath, Sumaya shared the painful truth about her relationship with her grandfather and the uncomfortable incidents that had taken place. Her voice trembled as she said, "I never thought my own grandfather would do something like this to me. How could he look at me that way? How could he try to hurt me like that?" Alicia was silent for a moment, processing everything she had just heard. Then she spoke gently but firmly. "Sumaya, why didn't you tell me about this earlier? You're my best friend. You shouldn't have gone through this alone." Determined to help, Alicia continued, "Don't worry, Sumaya. I'll tell my father about this. He's the imam at our mosque, and he's a kind, just man. I know he won't let this go unnoticed. He'll definitely do something to protect you." Sumaya wiped her tears, still unsure. "Are you sure, Alicia? My grandfather would never admit to any of this." Alicia nodded confidently. "Trust me, my father won't tolerate anything like this. I'll explain everything to him, and if he wants to talk to you directly, just be honest and tell him exactly what you told me. He'll understand and support you."
Hearing Alicia's reassuring words gave Sumaya a glimmer of hope. I feel a little better now, she said, managing a small smile. Alicia wrapped her arm around Sumaya's shoulder and said softly, "You're not alone in this, Sumaya. I'm with you." The two friends hugged tightly, and for the first time in a while, Sumaya felt a sense of relief. In her heart, Sumaya made a vow to herself. No matter how tough things got, she wouldn't let fear control her. She had to stand up for herself. That evening, Alicia kept her promise and told her father everything about Sumaya's ordeal. She recounted the whole story from start to finish, making sure not to leave out any details. She then added, "Dad, seeing Sumaya like that broke my heart. Please, treat her like your own daughter and help her through this." Listening to his daughter, Alicia's father felt a mix of anger and sadness. How could someone stoop so low? He thought to himself. Taking a deep breath, he replied, "I'll take this matter seriously, Alicia." He knew it was a delicate issue and couldn't be handled carelessly. He decided to address it quietly to protect Sumaya from public judgment and gossip. At the same time, he realized he couldn't do it alone. He needed to seek advice from someone he deeply trusted. Meanwhile, the school picnic was drawing near. The day before the event, the teachers came into the classroom and announced, "Tomorrow's the big day. Wear your school uniform and arrive early. We'll gather in the schoolyard before heading out for the picnic." Once the teachers left, Alicia turned to Sumaya with a hopeful smile. "I've told my dad everything," she said. "He was really upset when he heard about your grandfather, but I know he's going to do something about it. Please try not to worry too much. Let's focus on tomorrow's picnic and have some fun. You deserve a break from all this pain." Sumaya managed a faint smile, comforted by Alicia's unwavering support. Even though her heart was still heavy, knowing that Alicia and her father were on her side gave her a sense of comfort and hope. Sumaya felt a sense of relief after hearing Alicia's comforting words. She wiped away her tears and managed a small smile. "Thank you, Alicia. Despite everything I'm going through, sharing it with you has made me feel a bit lighter," she said. Alicia gave her an encouraging smile. "We'll get through this together, Sumaya. You're not alone." Feeling a bit more at ease, Sumaya confessed, "I think my grandfather needs to be taught a lesson. I've tried countless times to tell my father about what's been happening, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I was worried he might not believe me or think badly of his own father. How could he accept that his father would look at his own granddaughter in such a terrible way?" Alicia gently placed her hand on Sumaya's shoulder. "Try not to think about it for now," she said. "Let's focus on tomorrow's picnic. We should get ready and make sure we're prepared." She reminded Sumaya, "Don't stress too much. Just go home, get yourself ready for the picnic, and remember to wear your school uniform as the teacher instructed." With that, Alicia started heading home, encouraging Sumaya to do the same. On her way home, Sumaya couldn't help but wonder if Alicia's father could truly help her. Lost in thought, she suddenly noticed her grandfather approaching. As soon as he saw her, he said, "Sumaya, I haven't seen you around much lately. We live in the same house, but it feels like you're avoiding me." Trying to mask her fear, Sumaya replied, "I've just been busy studying for exams, Grandpa. That's why I haven't been going out much." Her grandfather nodded, then said, "I'm heading home too, let's go together." As they walked side by side, her grandfather brought up a troubling memory. "The other day, you went to the bathroom complaining about a stomach ache, but you didn't come back. Why did you go to the neighbor's house instead?" Sumaya's heart raced, realizing why he was asking. She knew that day he had been planning something inappropriate while no one else was at home. Trying to stay calm, she replied, "I wasn't feeling well, so I went to talk to the lady next door since Mom and Dad weren't home." Her thoughts raced as she walked alongside him. He may be old, but how can his character be so twisted, she wondered. She knew now that he had been planning to take advantage of her that day. As they continued walking, her grandfather began making inappropriate remarks and gestures. Alarmed, Sumaya quickened her pace, trying to get away. Suddenly, he grabbed her hand.
"Sumaya," he said, his grip firm. "There's something I've been meaning to tell you for a long time." Terrified, Sumaya forced herself to stay calm. "Grandpa, please, let go of my hand first. Then you can say whatever you want," she responded, trying to hide her fear. Her grandfather responded calmly, "There's nothing wrong with holding your hand. I haven't done anything else." Sumaya could sense that his behavior was inappropriate. She realized he had been waiting for a moment when no one was around, and now that they were in a secluded area, he felt free to act in a disturbing way. Suddenly, he forced her into a hidden spot along the road, where thick trees and bushes blocked the view. As Sumaya prepared to scream, her grandfather covered her mouth. "I've been waiting for a chance like this for a long time," he whispered. "I've had many opportunities before, but you always seem to catch on and avoid me. Today, I'm not letting this one slip away." Fear gripped Sumaya as her grandfather, despite his age, spoke with vile intent and touched her inappropriately. She knew something terrible was about to happen, but felt powerless to resist or scream. He began to carry out his repulsive actions, and Sumaya felt excruciating pain, unable to do anything but cry. Staring at his horrifying face, a deep sense of disgust and hatred welled up inside her. When it was over, her grandfather glanced around to ensure no one had witnessed the act. Seeing no one, he threatened her sternly. "Don't tell anyone about this. If you do, you'll regret it." Through her tears, Sumaya questioned him. "Grandpa, how could you do something so terrible to me? I'm your granddaughter. Didn't you feel any shame?" But her words fell on deaf ears, as he acted like he hadn't heard a thing. He then noticed dirt on her clothes and instructed her, "Clean your clothes with your hands." Shaken and terrified, Sumaya obeyed. He added, "If your parents ask about the dirt, just tell them you fell on your way home from school." Nodding quietly, she agreed and walked back home, utterly broken. Once inside, Sumaya noticed a faint bloodstain on her clothes. It didn't take long for her to realize where it had come from. Overwhelmed with grief, she broke down, crying uncontrollably. She felt trapped. How could she possibly explain what happened to her parents? And even if she did, would they believe her? How could her father accept that his own father had done such a vile thing without solid proof?
The thought of the next day's picnic gave her a glimmer of hope. She remembered Alicia's comforting words and how Alicia's father had promised to take the matter seriously. Yet, Sumaya had never imagined that something so horrifying would happen on that very day. Determined, she made up her mind to confide in her mother. That evening, after dinner, when her father stepped outside, Sumaya finally gathered the courage to share everything with her mother. Tearfully, she recounted what had happened with her grandfather. Shocked and heartbroken, her mother broke down in tears. "Why didn't you tell me sooner? I'm your mother, you should have trusted me. I would have done something about it." Sumaya explained through sobs, "I wanted to tell you so many times, but I was too scared of Grandpa." She also shared how she had confided in Alicia and how Alicia had talked to her father, who promised to help. The idea of the picnic had briefly lifted Sumaya's spirits earlier. The teachers had planned it as a break before exams, and she had been looking forward to it. Little did she know that the journey home that day would turn into such a horrifying nightmare. After hearing Sumaya's story, her mother said, "Since you've already confided in Alicia's father, I want to meet with him. I can't tell your father. Yethem might not believe it, without solid proof. We need to gather evidence first, and then we'll approach your father because of how your grandfather has manipulated and threatened you." Sumaya replied, "But tomorrow is the picnic. The teachers have insisted that everyone attend since it's just before the exams. I'll talk to Alicia, and after that, I'll help you meet her father." Her mother nodded in agreement and said, "Since you're going to the picnic tomorrow, don't worry about studying tonight. You'll be busy, so get some rest and sleep early." However, as Sumaya lay in bed, sleep wouldn't come. Her mind was filled with thoughts about what the future held and whether her grandfather would ever face the consequences of his actions. Eventually, exhaustion took over, and she drifted off to sleep. The next morning, as they prepared for the picnic, Sumaya's grandfather approached her with a stern warning. "Listen, Sumaya, don't you dare tell anyone about what happened yesterday. If you do, you'll regret it." But unlike before, Sumaya didn't feel scared. After confiding in her mother, she felt stronger and more determined. As soon as her grandfather walked away, Sumaya told her mother about his threat. Her mother reassured her, "Don't worry, I'll walk you to school myself. You won't have to be alone with him, I'll make sure of it." After a quick breakfast, Sumaya and her mother set off for school. Along the way, they ran into her grandfather, who insisted on escorting Sumaya himself. Aware of his intentions, her mother calmly replied, "No, I need to go to the market, so I'll walk her to school first." Realizing his plan was foiled, her grandfather didn't press further. When they arrived at school, Sumaya found Alicia already waiting. During the picnic, Sumaya shared the entire story with her friend. Furious at what she heard, Alicia said, "You should have told me earlier. If I had known, we wouldn't be here today. Your grandfather deserves to be held accountable." Feeling relieved after confiding in Alicia, Sumaya finally felt some comfort knowing that she had support. On the way home after the picnic, Sumaya said to Alicia, "Tomorrow, I'll bring my mom to your house." Alicia replied, "Don't worry, Sumaya. I'll talk to my father today and tell him everything about you." When Sumaya got home, she informed her mother about her conversation with Alicia. Her mother agreed, saying, "All right, tomorrow we'll go to Alicia's house in the morning." The next day, they went to Alicia's house as planned. Sumaya's mother approached Alicia's father and said, "I wanted to tell Sumaya's father, but without proof, I couldn't risk it. Please advise me on what to do." Alicia's father, already aware of the situation through his daughter, responded reassuringly, "Alicia has already told me everything. I'm taking this seriously, and I'll find a way to discuss it with Sumaya's father so that he understands and believes me." He continued, "Don't worry, tomorrow I'll come to your house and explain everything to your husband." Sumaya's mother finally felt a glimmer of hope, knowing that someone responsible was willing to take action to protect her daughter and ensure justice. After discussing the situation with Sumaya's mother, they returned home. The following day, Alicia and her father visited Sumaya's house to speak with Sumaya's father. Taking a deep breath, Alicia's father began, "I have something serious to discuss with you, but I don't even know where to start. It's both embarrassing and sensitive. I came here because if this matter becomes public, people will speak badly about your family." He then asked Alicia to explain the situation. With a heavy heart, Alicia said, "Uncle, Sumaya is my best friend. We're really close and always share our problems and happiness with each other. What I'm about to say is hard to believe, but your father, Sumaya's grandfather, has done horrible things to her." Alicia went on to recount everything from the beginning to the end. Afterward, Alicia's father added, "Alicia had already told me about this, but I didn't bring it up earlier because I didn't have enough evidence. I'm telling you now because your father has done something terrible to your daughter." Stunned, Sumaya's father called his daughter and asked, "Sumaya, is what Alicia and her father are saying true?" Sumaya nodded and replied, "Yes, Dad, it's true. I told Mom before, but I was afraid to tell you because I thought you wouldn't believe me." Sumaya's mother spoke up, "Yes, Sumaya confided in me earlier, but I didn't know how to tell you. I worried that you wouldn't believe it, which is why I asked Alicia and her father to come here." Suddenly, Sumaya's father broke down, crying uncontrollably. Through his tears, he said, "I never thought my own father could do something so vile to my daughter." Everyone was taken aback by his reaction, especially when Sumaya's father revealed a dark secret. "None of you know what I know about my father. 10 years ago, he did something similar to my cousin's daughter. We kept quiet out of fear that people would gossip about our family and ruin her chances of getting married. I thought it was a one-time mistake, and I never imagined he would harm my own daughter." Shocked, everyone remained silent for a moment. Then, Alicia's father asked, "What do you plan to do now? Are you going to let him get away with this, or will you seek justice?" Sumaya's father sighed and replied, "If I involve the police, they will investigate, and the whole village will know. People will look down on my daughter, saying, 'Who would marry a girl who was violated by her own grandfather?' As much as I despise what my father did, he's still my biological father. I can't bear the thought of him being arrested at his old age, and I don't want to disgrace our family. That's why I've decided to move to the city. I'll tell everyone I found a job there, and I'll take Sumaya and her mother with me. I never want to see that heartless man again. Maybe one day, if he changes, I might speak to him." Following his decision, Sumaya's family left for the city. But before leaving, Sumaya's father confronted his own father with bitter words. "A man like you, with such wickedness, should never exist. I'm leaving this house because of your shame. If it weren't for the family's honor, I would have made your life miserable." Sumaya's grandfather remained silent, staring at the ground with no response. There was no justification for his actions, nothing he could say to make it right. And here's the most twisted part. Sumaya wasn't his first victim, but she was the first brave enough to fight back. If you're still watching Comment Justices right now, let her know she's not alone. Dear viewers, What are your thoughts on Sumaya's father's decision? Did he make the right choice by protecting the family's reputation? Or should he have pursued justice regardless of the consequences? If you were in his position, would you choose silence or demand accountability? Let us know your opinion in the comments. We read every single one.
So, did Sumaya's father make the right choice? If you are Sumaya's parents or relative, would you have stayed silent to protect your family's name? Or would you demand justice, no matter the cost? Drop your answer in the comments. We read every single one of them. If this story disturbed you, hit like, share it to warn others, and subscribe for more real cases that expose the unthinkable. Because on true crimes, the monsters are real, and they're closer than you think.